Hey guys, it's Jude. So the new S22 lineup's dropped. How do we feel about that? I'm going to focus more on the base S22 and S22 Plus here because I have a different video underway about the S22 Ultra specifically, but feel free to talk about the lineup as a whole here and leave your thoughts on the S22 Ultra in the comments because I do want to talk about the lineup as a whole. I guess my view is positive. There's a lot of stuff that I'm happy has been kept the same. There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, yeah, that's an upgrade, I guess. And there's basically nothing that I'm feeling like let down by. I'd had the view for a while that it was probably going to be a bit of an incremental upgrade, especially after the design leaks came out for this phone. And yeah, it is that. I guess design is actually a pretty good place to start discussing these because I do love a good design chat. I mean, it's fine. From first glance, it's obviously very similar to last year, which is a good thing in my opinion, because I mean, I did name the S21 my phone of the year when it came to design, so I'm definitely glad they've kept the design language from last year. But a few things have changed, and those things that have changed I'm not necessarily a huge fan of yet. For one, the contour cut, which you can see on my S21 Ultra here, where it sort of bleeds into the side, kind of isn't really present in this new one, even though the vibe of it is. It's not melding into the side in the way that the contour cuts from last year did, and I think that kind of loses some of its appeal of this design for me. Part of how I liked it was how purposeful the camera bump looked, and I think that's lost a little. Also, they've changed the overall shape and feel of these phones, so they're now a lot blockier and cubier in the hand, and I don't know if this is a controversial take, because I haven't heard anyone mention it, but it might just be a case of I've not been listening to the right people or watching the right videos. But does anyone kind of get iPhone vibes? Looking at it, I just feel as though it would feel very similar to the iPhone 13 in the hand with the cubier edges. I don't know. I do really like that design for iPhones, so I don't know why I'm not really enjoying it as much here. So it might just be a matter of I need some time to get used to it. I suppose I'm just used to the base S series looking very sleek and small, I guess, and I think that's lost a little bit, which feels kind of counterproductive when they're actually reducing the screen sizes to make them more compact, so I don't know. What are your thoughts? The colours as well are kind of a mixed bag for me. They're not bad, and I love that there's a variety because you don't actually get that on a lot of high-end models, but I guess I've kind of just been spoiled a little bit by how much I loved last year's. I love the variety. I love the new sky blue, and again I love the white and silver because it seems very similar to last year's to me, and I love that. But the pink and the violet were two of my favourite colours from last year, and they have come back again this year, but they've changed, and I really don't like them this time round. They've gone with softer tones, and I kind of wish they'd gone with the more vivid, purposeful colours of last year. And I am also just going to say that the new sort of yellow cream colour, I'm not about it. I will give Samsung credit though, because they've kept the colour options the same this year between the S22 and the S22 Plus, which I really appreciate because I found it really frustrating last year when I was thinking about getting the S22 Plus and I couldn't get my favourite colour because it was only available on the cheaper model. I'm paying more, I want that choice. But speaking of uniformity between the models, this is actually a big thing that I took away from this, and it's one that I appreciate. With the S21 series, it really did kind of just feel like it was the S21, a slightly bigger version, and then the Ultra. And the Ultra felt very much in a different league to the other two, and the other two basically just felt like one phone that you had the option of paying more for. Whereas this year, I feel like they make more sense as one cohesive series. Last year, I felt like one of the ways they differentiated between the S21 and the S21 Plus was by actually stripping back some aspects of the S21, aka by making it plastic. Whereas this year, I think they've actually differentiated between the two by making them both top quality flagships, but the S22 Plus just having a few little extras that make it a little bit more worthwhile of paying that extra amount. It's stuff like faster charging, a brighter display, and ultra wideband support, things that the average consumer probably will not care about at all, and so therefore it won't make the S22 a less attractive purchase. But it's stuff that the kind of person who might want to spend that extra couple of £100 will probably appreciate. And I quite like that they've made that differentiation a bit clearer without stripping back anything from the base model. I can finally start to see the whole lineup coming into shape as one family. I can understand why someone might want to pay that extra couple of £100 for the S22 Plus now. The chipsets on these new devices, as far as I can tell, are looking fine as well. I've not seen many people talk about huge jumps in performance outside of benchmarks, and in fact I've actually been surprised by how little performance change I've seen in a lot of people's testing. But what matters is there is an increase in performance, and that combined with the fact that I was wrong about my prediction that prices were going to go up means that we're not paying like an extra premium for like very little difference. Plus, in fairness to the new chipsets, it is very early days, and I'm sure as like software and game companies like catch up with the new chipsets capabilities, we're going to start seeing them like run to their full potential, and that we can't really judge that right now. I think a big way that we will be seeing the new chipsets like do their magic in like the very recent future is in terms of photography, because they have had upgrades on their hardware, but it's stuff like night mode where we're seeing the real improvement, and I think for that we have to thank the new chipsets with their great AI and processing power. But yeah, that's kind of all my thoughts on the new lineup. Well, specifically the S22 and S22 Plus. If I'm going to summarize, I guess it would be to say that I'm happy with what Samsung have put out, but I'm not necessarily excited by it. But I do know that a lot of you are excited about it, especially the new Ultra. So I promise the next video will be a much more in-depth discussion about that beast specifically. Until then, get in on the discussion and let me know what you think, and if you disagree with me about these phones, or if you have any hot takes in advance of my next video about the Ultra. Have a lovely week, guys. See you.